Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Polina here talking to you about this full moon coming up very soon, actually, on the 3rd to the 4th of June. A little late with this one, but okay, I hope that this is worth it for you guys. This is a very, very nice and emotional time. The full moon is going to be in Sag, obviously across from the sun, Juno conjunction and Gemini. So we're going to have quite a lot of it. Quite a lot of us go up in flames. Quite a lot of projects that are not about you or have not been done well will be just so obvious, like, wow, I've done such a bad job on this, or my gosh, that person doesn't want to participate with me. People don't like to be in a badly designed house. They don't like to be in a mean person's life. They don't want to be around disintegrative or odd environments. There is a natural need to be happy, and quite a lot of us also that know that we are landing on deaf ears, that are not generating money from a project, or that are not helping anybody, or not having a good time, not having any friends, not having any income or outcome. We're going to have to understand that, look, I did a bad job on this. Now that's really hard. This could be really, really big topics, like maybe it is about like a family relationship, for example, a relationship between you and your child. That's really hard. Like, I did a bad job on this. That's really, really difficult. Also, to be on the other end of this, it's hard to, like, say, tell your friend, this is a shitty friendship. It's also hard to be that. It's hard to tell somebody, look, I'm not buying that because this is bad quality, or this is just nothing, like, this is horrible. So, like, this is like quality control. It's not just about this. It's about understanding, knowledge, and sudden jolt of life. And maybe there's a violent energy to this, as we do have Mars, Pallas, Seppo, and Black Moon Lilith in Leo at a third, at a trine to the sun. So I'm sorry, to the moon. Sorry, to the moon. So there is like a very, very powerful conjunction there, with also Venus very close to Mars. But Venus is in Cancer. So, like, to me, it looks like everybody is going to have to know about it. Everybody is going to put their ear to the ground. It's like, whoa, this is crazy, like quality control. And we also have to, like, understand, like, the damage done. Some people are going to want to talk a lot about that, which is happening in their life. There's certain people that are going to have to tell everybody about a certain truth. Maybe being told on is something that is going to happen, or having people talk about you in a private way, or your private relationship, or it's no longer private. It's like every single person knows this person did it, or that person's done it, or like, this is not the way, or this is not the way that we want to love, or this is not the way that we want to live. But then I'm also seeing that quite a lot of you don't need to force any energy. It's just more about going inside. I would avoid any conflict or confrontation. I wouldn't go spending energy, also money, making rumors. I wouldn't tell the whole world about something that was really dark. I would not do it, because this is something that could be very contaminating. It could spread everywhere. Also, please be aware of contamination of any sort. Verbal contamination, physical, spiritual, also, like, yeah, I suppose, like, the word that is coming up in my mind is masochism, and also wishing for another person to be around while certain things are happening to you, and also wanting to face or voice things. It's just, that's enough, okay? Like, it's just not nice. So basically, what we have to do is, I think we have to be a very birthing and very new, and very new, very fresh in how we approach life. I think that freshness and youth and vulnerability are going to go a long way. And I also feel that this is the kind of moon where we don't think about it, we don't talk about it, we just basically secretly create it. So this is a very birthing moon. This is a beautiful child-rearing moon. This is about creating new opportunities and birthing new sequences. This is about seedlings coming up from the ground. This is about new, careful and caring, kind, and very worthy ideas. Because Sagittarius is a sage. It's a wonderful sign for success. It's a wonderful sign for repetitive momentum's being undone and new creative forces coming through. So like an old spell or old print is probably out and a new print is in. So like for certain people, we have to really be good about this. We have to create something neutral. And yeah, this is not a new moon, this is a full moon. So, you know, people are like, this is the finished product, it's a finished state. It's not a new state. Actually, I feel this is about ingenuity and innovation to some degree. And I also feel it is about the point being beyond that which we had in our minds. So it is about the new level of events. It's about next level way of looking at things. And maybe you are sitting on something, you're already sitting on it. Like maybe you have an idea you don't know how to work with, and now it's going to have a new turn or a fresh way that people look at it. It's about shedding light, of course, full moons, on things that are probably no longer interesting to keep. Maybe there are some things that you don't want part of your history, certain faces and ideas you don't want to associate with, you don't want to also maybe leave it necessarily, but it is going to just basically effortlessly, in many, many cases, show you, well, look, this is something new. Or like, well, now this is also an idea, or this is also an incredible concept. So I'm feeling that quite a lot of us, we're going to get not necessarily an upgrade. It's not like, yeah, it is an upgrade. It's not necessarily like that only. There is a very interesting also curfew on things, and things that are no longer worth it or no longer good enough are going to have to become an obvious no. And also quite a lot of things are going to exit very swiftly and very easily. And it's not like about like waiting for things to change. It's about like a swift karma. And somehow, wow, that person just dropped off the radar. Wow, that party is happening in the hills. I'm going to go to that party today, actually. Oh, wait, I lost my my purse, but hey, wow, somebody gave me a new purse. Wow, how nice. It's like there is a very quick and relevant way in which things get also stolen or lost. If you've had any items also recently become unbearable or unusable, if you have stolen, lost, or departed items, or if you've had a friend or two that's just become rusty and unbearable, or people just dropped off the radar, the idea is not to re-invoke that energy. The idea is not to be like, wait, let's write letters to each other, like try to be quite cool about it. If anything, like something or somebody has moved on, or something has been stolen, lost, or has disappeared, it's not about making it like polite and nice. It's not about the comfort level reality when you need it back. It's like, don't ask for items back. If you're going to give anything out, don't ask for it back. It's not about coming back. It's about going forward. It's about moving on, which is what Sagittarius is about. It's about going for it and being at the next level very fast. And also, if you don't want to be obstructed within yourself, don't obstruct other people's point of view, don't obstruct other people's purpose. And then it eventually, inevitably, is going to get evolved into a much better, shinier, and lighter frequency. And then, like, some of us are going to have to get to know things very quickly. Some people are going to have to learn on the job. Some people have to jump up at it. Some people are going to be like, oh wow, I got the last seat on the bus. Wow, how lucky I am. People are going to be very married also to a purpose or a responsibility. Somebody else is going to be able to offer that which you really need and offer you a lot if you get it, if you understand it. There are certain people that are going to be absolutely also chosen or weeded out from the group as like, that's the gem, that's the person that graduates. For example, you've been in the course and then now you get a scholarship or another course of study, or you're going to be chosen or brought up by society or by the world. And then also there is a state of peace. This particular moon, to me, it looks like it will be kind of nasty for some, like in the energies that I'm seeing where it's dark or it's mean is just where people don't want to see the truth and they don't want to embrace the new. you know. But overall, for everybody who's quite interested in the next bigger and better picture and quite smiley and optimistic about their life, is going to be a very peaceful result. And yeah, it's going to be like, yeah, I'm at peace with that. Like, I've just given away half of my things and I feel peaceful and I feel spacious. Or like, I've just made a friend and we're sitting there by the water and I'm feeling grateful. You know, so there's quite like a nice sort of compassionate energy to some of this moon. And it's not going to be that much love or care or presence or significance maybe later on in life. Certain things are just going to go away eventually, but this is it basically. This is a nice karmic resolve, and quite a big part of your picture is solved. And there's a big voila, and voila, you know. And for some people it is going to be a little bit like, whoa, I didn't even choose this, or I had no real idea this was gonna be like this. Wow, voila, and voila. So that's like when you get like a kind of a revealing energy. So like after you did all this work, after you put things in brackets, and after you tried to mean something and you try to push it up the hill, or you try to get rid of this or get rid of that, or push this on, or if you can imagine, it's kind of like an InDesign project, you know, kerning and cropping and all of this stuff, you know, and trying to make things look spaced out properly and perfect and nice and caring. It's like graphic design. And then eventually you have this, and voila. And here's when basically you have to understand and face the results. Not a lot of it you can get back. So, for example, cutting your hair off, you can't put that hair back onto your head. Like, this could probably be your hairstyle for a very long time. Or, for example, now needing something to happen in your life, changing your work, changing your daily bread, changing the way that you see your body or the way that you see your mind. There is like almost like a forgiveness that comes with this moon that is automatic. It's like, and this is how it's done, and I suppose this is the way that we are now going to live, and voila, I guess this is it, you know, and voila, you know, which is really base, and it's beautiful, and it's very becoming. And some people, I think, are going to have to find the satisfaction in these moments when you know, things are settled. For example, I trimmed the hedges around my house and voila. Or like, I bought a new car and voila. Like, that's like 6 years of my life, or I don't know how long you keep cars for. I don't know, this is 20 years potentially of my life driving this thing. And voila, you know. So it's very quite karmic. Also, in some ways, I feel that certain people are still looking for significance. They're still looking for mommy or daddy or perpetrator or the disrespectful energy inside any sequence. They're looking for meaningful conversations. They're looking for many friends. They're looking for the yes man. They're looking for care. I think people are trying too hard to be somebody to anybody. I think it's very disrespectful. There are certain forces that are working against needs and wants and karmas, and criticism. But I want him to be my friend, not her. And I don't want this. I don't like this. You know, like all of this really childish stuff. It's a very maturing moon also. It's in the sign of the sage. You know, so it's very simple. It's like, we are here, we made the project, and voila, here we are. And then we thank each other, you know, we take care of the results, and that's it. And I think to some degree people just have to let it happen. You know, it's like you can't control it. And to some degree it's just about being sage, and it's about being timed and having certain things given to you. Some people are going to receive back quite a lot of what they were promised. Some people are going to become a breath of fresh air to others. Some people are going to bring up their projects or their children very well. Some people are going to have, a night of their soul, a night of the soul, and then they have a little bit of crying and psychosis, and then they have to come back to a really nice, sensitive space, like a centered space. But then, yeah, like all of those little things you don't need now. And this is interesting to me. I'm also recognizing that happening in my world at the moment. Like, for example, this is just for me, this is happening for me. Like, last couple of months, maybe a month and a half, I've been collecting things. I've been collecting like fabrics and ribbons and things, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I ended up like innovating some of my items, and I made some very awesome adjustments to existing clothes. And then you see, like, I can just give these ribbons away. I don't have to harbor these ribbons. You know, I've made the things that I wanted to make, and voila, and I have a whole new wardrobe, you know. But then that's that, you know. You see, like something like that. It's like, for example, we've been living in this hut, in this jungle house for like almost a year, and now the journey is done, and we are different people now, and we've done some dietas here, like cleansing plants and change our lives, and voila, you know, it's like the house gets gone, and then we go to the next level. You know, so if you've done like printmaking, or if you've done, I don't know, like certain cooking projects, you know, like all of this stuff goes into the making of something, and then those tools are just tools, you know, or those materials are just materials, then you have the final product. So that's exactly what I'm talking about in terms of this month, you know, this moon, having just the final product left over. Also, another part of Gemini, as we are with Sun in Gemini, is having a certain type of jewel eventually form, you know, underground, having a certain type of thought, or having a certain type of product, or having a certain type of treasure or realization, or even a part of your personality or part of your form, and it sort of becomes strong, you know, it becomes like very infinite, you know, and everything else like washes away. It's kind of like the mollusk and the pearl, you know, it was just a lot of sand particles for a while, then a mollusk molds these particles that have caused the mollusk some friction or irritation into a pearl. So the pearl is formed, you know, and that's what I'm basically getting at the end of the day for this moon. There is a nice, normal, calm, alkaline, and very adult way of just knowing that there is like a finished product, or maybe that there is a byproduct. And then also how to know what to let go of, what to destroy, and what to keep around, and how to treat your life. It's just, you have gems, you know, you have the best of the best, taking the best and not bothering with the rest. So this is the grain, this is the husk. I'm not eating the husk, this is the grain. You know, so it's also about taking care of you, I think, to some degree. I feel that it is also about knowledge, and I feel it is about having a certain base and a certain modern way of thinking and feeling about your life. It is about ergonomic modern experiences. It's about having no fuss. It's about having no frills, as they say. It's about having no unnecessary work put into your experience. It's about having no unnecessary mind. It's about having no unnecessary people or unnecessary business to attend to. So it's recognizing how to do things based on a very simple, perfect, chronological wave. It's about ergonomic base needs also. It's about knowing how to get things nice and good and attractive and clean, and not to worry about the rest. Like, it's like you're basically keeping the best and you don't care about the rest, which is what I feel this particular month is going to be about, this particular moon. And also not caring so much about what other people say, not feeling that addiction to other people's opinions or their materialism or their obsession with what is needed, what's not needed. It's a very tailor-made kind of month. It's like, this is right for you. Like, this decision is right for you. And then other people like, blah, blah, blah. or like this is not how it's done, or this is not the end of it, or this is how I'm doing it. Also recognizing where people, like for example, are collecting rubbish. Maybe their life is trashy, maybe they talk about who they are or what they do is trashy. Recognizing where there is like a trashy aspect to how people live their lives. And there's nothing wrong with like saying, I don't want to participate in, say, garbage collection, or trying to supply me happiness with physical goods, you know, daily goods. I, for example, don't need to eat a giant plate of food to be satisfied, or I don't need to experience certain experiences with certain people in order to feel satisfied. So we have to also understand where satisfaction is not. You know, so for example, even with my fourth car, I'm not happy. You know, even with a $2 million wardrobe, I'm not happy. So all of that has to basically be recognized. And we also understand like where there is a gap now. You know, so for example, a person keeps on dating people of a certain type of predisposition or agenda, and then they don't understand that they don't actually need what they're doing. And no matter how many people they meet, yeah, so there's like a gaping hole. It's like no matter how many times I've done that, it doesn't work, or no matter how many people I'm with, or no matter how much I try, I won't get this happening, or I can't get this on the road, to no avail. But then there's also like another aspect of it is maybe you're ignoring something very obvious and strong for you while investing in that which has absolutely nothing to do with you. So we have to also understand addiction, like say addiction to collections, addiction to obsession, addiction to making many people part of your world where you should really just have one or two friends, being obsessed with making impressions, being obsessed with certain type of food, observation of things that are not important, like watching a lot of like say infomercials, like watching infomercials on repeat, you know, making friends with people that don't want to be friends, you know, all of this. So it's just about unsightly kind of growths also. This could be a growth in your body. This could be a growth in your psyche. This could be things that you probably don't want to take care of later on. And then not having any qualms with the reason why this has come up. It's like, wow, I was going the wrong way. Well, I was very unconscious, like about how I treated my life, or wow, I lost my mind. And then trying to go back to like a simple prism of naivety and taking care of yourself, taking care of your soul, and wanting no more of these energies or these reasons that have made you part of something or somebody that are basically not legit, you know, things that are just like wasteful, foolish, meaningless. And also know, like, if you like, you don't want to do this, maybe that's okay. Look at your things, like anything you have in front of you, like look at your diet, look at your house, look at just how you are doing things, look at your marriage, and just understand these aspects don't work. You know, so you don't, like, it's like a design of your life. This is not personal. It's not dogmatic. This is not emotional. It's just like, look, this doesn't work, or this does not want to work, or no matter how many paintings I produce, I cannot sell them, or like say, no matter how many plants I have in my house, they don't make me happy, or like no matter like if I even have like 3 cats, I'm not gonna feel held by these animals. Or, you know, we have to understand, recognize like certain elements of the psyche that are futile and fatalistic. And also we have to understand when it comes to collections, when it comes to certain programs, investment of money, time, or essence, also workloads that are not liftable or unbearable. And we have to basically take away these elements in our lives that don't produce anything or cannot stand by our side anymore. So thank you very much. And yes, some people will have to lose a friend. I feel that some people will have to understand where there's no fidelity and there's just no necessary function to certain things. And we have to stop covering our lives and stuff like, say, having an unbearable amount of clothes, or having too many items in the house, or having too many friends. You know, we have to understand where it needs to be narrowed down to probably just the one. You know, so like say 4 pairs of pants, but there's probably only 2 pairs that you like, you know, or like 90 different people you interact with, you know, on different social media, that there's only the one person that actually is listening to you. So it's just about coming back to the one, to the oneness, and having a certain type of also personality during this time that is not going to take any nonsense also from others, because like people want to sell you stuff. You go to the markets, they want to sell you stuff. They want to be with you. They want to, oh, you know, I was counting on you. Like, you didn't call me. Where are you? So it's just about knowing that you don't have to be anybody for other people also, and that you are maybe trying to be a more associated, more wholesome and a cleaner version of yourself, and having better health, better guts, better, like more awesome conversation, better set future, like better placed, you know, better strategized, better looking, like better feeling future, instead of just like fluffing around doing things that don't bring you anything, that just disintegrate your health and your psyche. So thank you very much. I hope this has been interesting. Have a look at the links below, and I'll see you next time.